And hello to all my Scorpio friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for a very sunflowery September 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you a storyline spread. It's a good spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across all the different Scorpios. It allows me to be very accurate because we're pulling a few different stories here, so it's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. Sometimes 3, 4, even 5 or 6 different stories for different Scorpios. The themes can be about just about anything, so it's a great spread for a general reading because there's no rules. They can go wherever they want with that. There's going to be a story in there that is a home run for you, so if the first couple don't resonate with you, they don't make sense, bear with it because we're going to get the story that is right for you. I've had people tell me that multiple stories sometimes do resonate with them, and that's okay if it does, but at the end of the day, it's all about finding that one home run. So we're going to get yours in there. They've also asked that I conclude your reading with an extra spread. So I need to tell you about it right now because this is a yes or a no spread. So you got to start thinking about your question right now. If you'd like to participate, that's the way this thing works through quantum. Even though I'm recording this before you are viewing it, Spirit is able to answer it because time is an illusion. Time doesn't affect them. So we're using kind of their guidance here to answer these questions. So you need to start thinking about your yes or no right now. And Spirit is going to try to answer as many as they can by the end of your reading, at least in the form of context. So start thinking about that right now. We're also going to do a rune zone for you guys. That's going to bring the whole reading together. Also need to tell you about this wonderful display that's right in front of me. So we have a lot to talk about, Scorpio. Let's get started, shall we? The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. Hit that like button if you're ready to have a great September. Here we go. And we are on and recording. What I'm doing now, I like to share my table with you guys, show you what I'm doing. These are my ritual cuts. Basically, we cut each deck into thirds, put it back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It's the same procedure for personal, private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. And we're ready to go. So storyline spreads start with 5 cards. I expand out from there where I need to go, but here's your main base 5, the most important of the group. We do have almost all of them blocked, and that is actually where we're going to stop. You can see this person is facing inward, so this is my bracket of my storyline. We do have some major arcana cards in there too, so this is going to be very interesting how this goes. Now, since I have so many blocked, I'm going to do my discard now instead of later. That's another invert, so that basically says, hey, we want this all upright. So the order needs to stay the same. That is incredibly important to do so in tarot, but they all go upright instead of inverted. So now we got to get the pairings together now that we're looking at it straight and squarely. That's going to be separate, as will that. And this is together here. So we're looking at 4 different stories. It's going to be set up like this. I'm going to get a bunch more cards, especially here because they're majors. Only going to get 1 card here because these are 2 pip cards. It's going to go there, just like that. And then down here, we're going to get 2 for each of these guys. Each story. Yep. So they all end up with 3 cards as it turns out. I do need one more there. Just make sure that's a person or not. My little discard, it is not, so I'm good with the energy definition there. If if I get off screen a little bit here too, I will move the camera around so you guys can see. I'll always make sure that I share that with you, show you everything that's going on. The very last thing that I need is my Oracle Angel cards. Every story gets one of those. So here we go. Scorpio Story 1, Scorpio Story 2, Scorpio Story 3, and Scorpio Story 4. All right. So there we go. The card work is done. It's just a matter of showing it to you now. Let's see what you can see here. All right, so the stories are kind of vertical. You know, a lot of times I lay them out kind of horizontally, but here to my left, this is the way we did it today. That's story 1. Over here, right between my hands, this will all be story 2. I believe you can see the bottom of that too. Yeah, I think so. Over here, story 3, and then story 4. Move it like this. To the right of my hand is story 4. So we have a lot to talk about. Let's get going, Scorpio. Let's see what September has in store for my great Scorpios. Got to do that yes or no too. All right. Where to begin? Story one's a good place to begin, I would say so. Okay, guys. September. Good month here to make a major decision. You guys have to do it. Got to do it. Don't put it off. Don't delay. A lot of you already have made a major decision. There's something looming here. And finding the context of this especially is going to be huge. To figure out if you're in the story or not, the first thing I would ask yourself is, do I have a major decision to be made? Anything coming up very soon here, like within the next 30 days? This could be you here. A lot of you have already made a major decision here, and if that's the case, good, you're good to go. Basically, I don't need to tell you much there because it's already kind of handled. They do say breathe, so it lets me know that, there is some stress involved here, or there is some, maybe that's even a clue or an indicator. You know what? Hey, you make this major decision. It's going to be a relief. It is going to be a weight lifted off your shoulders. You're going to feel so good once this is done and you don't have to deal with this anymore. So that is what they talk about first. Looking at the description here of how they describe it, they talk about something in there is unsuccessful. There is a little roadblock of some form that's popping up in September attached to this story. And there's also the need to hoard. So they're actually calling on you to save some finances here. Save up the money instead of spend in story one. So it's about kind of they're giving you permission to be a hoarder. Usually my hoarder card means the opposite of that. It usually means don't be a hoarder, but since they turned it around, they're basically saying here it's actually okay to save. It's actually okay to keep it all as much as you can in September. Save. So that major decision is obviously could be a financial one, at least down the road of how it's going to affect your finances. Maybe you're saving up for a purpose. More than likely, that's what it's all about there. So, letting you know that something in there is likely going to be unsuccessful lets you kind of not be afraid of the expectations of expecting all good things, and then they don't happen, and then you're just disappointed. Well, here, they're letting you know that there's going to be some complicated stuff with this. This is not necessarily going to be a cakewalk. This is not going to be an easy kind of path down here in September. But with this card, it also reminds us that this is just a minor thing. This is a small little failure, if you will. It's a strong word. I don't like using it, but most people kind of understand it. So that's what I'm going to use here. So they're talking about it like a small failure here. And before you know, this is going to turn right around into success again. That's kind of just how life works. You're never down too long. You're never up too long either. So you got to really enjoy kind of when you're there. So that's what they talk about there. So a major decision needs to be made. A lot of you already have. And it's good. Spirit is applauding you if you already have. That's very good. Let's move into story two, guys. Story number two, we bring in the Empress first. That is a really hard card to read in tarot. It's one of my least favorite to read in a general, at least, because there's so many definitions of the Empress. This is the card of fertility. It's the card of birth, feminine energy, but also new things being fertile and becoming real. Just like birth brings a child into the world, this could be a card about bringing something new into like real world, like existence, like a business. This would be where it's like not an idea anymore, because if you're thinking about a business, it's not real, right? I mean, it's real in your thoughts, but it's not real to the touch. So the Empress, if it's that definition pool, is real to the touch, just like physical birth is. It could just mean a fertile time here for my Scorpios too. And like I said, it's very hard to kind of pinpoint here. So I got to go to my other cards for clues here, see where they're pushing this direction. They first bring up that there is a lack of authority with the work corner, so the work corner needs more work. You guys got to get after it here. You got to chase something down. You got to run around and get something done with work. It's basically saying you have not been authoritative enough here. You got to take more charge. You got to grab, you got to get on that horse. You got to take charge. You got to be the boss of what's going on here. Now, they also talk about if you don't, this is going to go downhill. It's like this card can mean blocked travel. I don't think in this context that's what they're doing. If you have anywhere to travel specifically in September, you may experience some weird things going on with that. Maybe it's not the best time to. If you have a choice, I'd probably move it to October if you can. But for most of my audience, this is going to be the other definition. This is going to be about the river rapids analogy that I use. And that is like if you're going down the river, like a lazy river, whatever, or just any kind of like whitewater deal in an inner tube, there's parts of the stream of the river that are very smooth, very calm. And it's just kind of like cruise control. You're just sitting there and enjoying it. And there's other parts that you're like like banging off of rocks, and it's just like sweeping you here and there and knocking you all around. So that is basically what they're showing can happen here if you don't get in control of this. You're basically moving yourself down a path that you don't want to move down, and it's not that you couldn't get out of it, because you can, but it's just a little rougher. There's no reason to kind of go down that if you don't have to, especially if it can be avoided. They do show that a lot of you are between worlds here, or there's a factor here between worlds. That lets me know that you have divine help here from the other side directly. May even be female other side, deceased loved one here popping in, because we have the Empress card. So that's the divine feminine, like I just told you, So that's why the Empress card's so hard, without asking you questions directly, having you here to kind of figure out which way they're going with this. But they do show between worlds, so there is a good kind of thin veil, very thin veil for a lot of my Scorpios here in story 2. And, they're getting help from that divine guidance, so it's good for you to follow the signs, the signals. That's what it's there for. And, I go back to the taking authority with the work corner. Work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, learning anything new, entrepreneurship, the JOB, all that kind of stuff. Something that is a hobby or you're passionate about, all that stuff falls under the work stuff. So taking great authority with whichever one of those is mostly applicable to you. Most people, it's just job or work, right? But, got to give it to you all in a general. So there's story 2, guys. Let's get into story 3. Then I'm going to hit some moon cycles. Story 3 talks about my Scorpios who have just been stuck. Stuck, nothing going on, stagnation. It feels like you're just stuck here forever. When is this going to break? They show that this is a process. First of all, before I get into the good news, let me tell you the bad news and rip the Band-Aid right off of it, is that it's not necessarily more than likely going to get free from this stagnation in September. More than likely, this is, later. Maybe October, November. We're only reading here for September, so really hard to kind of go that far ahead with it. But we have the Hanged Man here right now, so it's something in suspense, something hanging there. They bring in mending. So there is a healing process. That's what makes me say process. There is either something is healing here, or you don't have mobility, and you hurt your leg or something like that, or maybe it's just a situation or a circumstance that has got you hemmed up, and you're just kind of dealing with it, waiting your time, waiting something out. They have the slowest card in the deck next with my 8 of Wands. If this card was turned around the other way, it would be the fastest card in the deck. But in this case, it's the slowest. So that kind of goes with the Hanged Man energy. It's basically saying not much going on in the month of September as far as this hang-up is concerned. Of course, there's lots of moving parts to your life. We're just talking about the hang-up here that is really slow. Other parts of your life might be, all kinds of different speeds. The love corner, one thing, work corner, another corner, health corner, another speed, financial corner, something else. But whatever they're describing here, if you're here and you know which situation they are describing for you, Scorpio, in story 3, they bring in the slow energy. Now, they do show the Hierophant card, so doing things the right way is going to be important. Do things the legal way. Do not cut corners. Don't do anything shisty or shady or manipulative. Basically, we can have no toxic stuff here. This has got to be done like by the book. Everything's got to be on the up and up, done right. That's my Hierophant card. It's also a card that means taking care of your people. For some of you, that's what this is all about. For others of you, this is just more about doing things right and getting this process to get moving. And, I don't know how much control you have here or not. They don't really tell me, but you have to do your part, and then you just got to pretty much leave it to God. And the process, going back to the mending card, of whether it's healing or whether you're just healing yourself, like zened out, like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, this is just, has been stressing me out for so long. I'm just so tired of this. When is this going to break? When's this going to break? When is this going to ever end? Is it going to ever end? Is this the never-ending cycle? No, it's not. It's just that, there's not a lot of movement with it in this month. Okay. Now, before I get into story number 4 and get into your wonderful yes or no, I do need to tell you about a few things. First of all, the moon cycles, which are going to correlate to some of our stories here. I like to give you guys the moon cycles every single month so you know what's coming. First thing that hits is the full moon. That hits on September 10. That's the best time to get anything out of your life that you don't want there anymore. Time to get rid of it with that full moon. I'm looking down your stories. I don't really see much with that. That is something that maybe you could use to speed up story 3 a little bit if it's something that actually like you need to do to get out of your life. Like if you need to sell something or repurpose something or donate something. Even kicking an old habit can be done under the full moon very well. Emotional baggage. For some of you, you got to get rid of people. Any of this stuff is full moon energy, guys, much better placed early in September. Adversely, we have the new moon. That comes in September 25th, so more toward the end of the month. That is the best time to bring anything brand new into your life that wasn't there before. The Empress card is bringing something new in story 2, so that's very much end of September vibe. Making decision, that could be either way. And then over here with the Hanged Man and the Slow, not so much. So story 2 is pretty big new moon energy. I haven't even gotten to story 4 yet to get into that. Let me look real quick. That's more kind of assertive, alpha-ish energy too, so that is also kind of new moon. So Scorpios are going to be big for late September. There is bigger themes there for you guys under the new moon than full. Doesn't mean you can't take advantage of both. You absolutely can. So that new moon is about bringing new things in. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be brand new love. Let's say you're trying to start some new diet. You're trying to do some kind of new thing at the gym, exercise program, do some new budgeting with your finances, even something new with work. It doesn't matter what it is. The moon cycles are blind. They don't care what it is that you're trying to bring in, but the new moon is what you want to do there. That's the kind of the key note that I want you to focus on, especially for my Scorpios. It's a big one. And if any of this confuses you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is absolutely free. It is parked on my website, scottsagent.com. You go to the bottom of my videos page, and that's where you find that. And that just shows you a graphic illustration of the ebbs and flows and how you can implement positive change into your life. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. While you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. The newsletter sign up is at the bottom of every single page on the site because it's important. And I give my newsletter people a couple free readings every single year just by being signed up. So it's a no-brainer to do. I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for promo codes, save you guys money on readings, some quick updates of what's going on with the channel and new products. Speaking of new products, we're doing a yes or no spread right here in a general reading. It's really hard to pinpoint this. We got this bubble energy from Scorpio. You guys are great, but at the same time, there's so many of you here that it's hard to get specific stuff here. So I just put together a brand new product. It's called the Yes or No. It's the same kind of format that we're doing at the end of your reading here. You get a little taste of it here today. But if you're looking for a yes or no that is completely all about you, or any other kind of my personal products, I do have a wide variety of them. And they're all on the website, scottsagent.com. That yes or no is brand new, launching in September. So check that out as well. Speaking of new products, I got the big new product right here because this is a physical product. The store is getting bigger, the online shop. So this is the new release here that I wanted to tell you about that we have been, that you've been patiently waiting for. So we'll wait no longer and I'll tell you about this I'll cut in to tell you about it right now. Then we're going to come back and hit your story number 4 as well as your yes or no. Okay, guys, the time has come to unveil and reveal the brand new product. The Scott Sagent line here is now offering you, if you are sunflower obsessed like me and a lot of other spiritual people, we're going to talk more about the sunflower momentarily, but this, guys, is sunflower potpourri. To my knowledge, this is a niche item. I don't think it exists out there, at least not like this. This is produced in small batches, hand fragranced, a 1/4 pound bag. It's your standard size potpourri bag, but this fragrance, I wish I could allow you to smell it through your computer, through your phone. Unfortunately, technology doesn't let us do that yet. So you're going to have to take my word on this, but this thing smells. The aroma is dreamy. It is dreamy. It is heavenly. It is fragrant. The aroma is powerful but sweet. The sunflowers are not bulky enough to really make a true potpourri, so we had to use other items. But we captured the essence of the sunflower here by the color patterns, kind of the fall, a lot of the yellow, make it pop just like the yellow in the sunflower does. And what this is hand fragranced. So that means by hand, and make sure that the whole thing is fragranced, not just the top part, not just a little bit of it. So it's all hand kind of mixed there. And also, the high quality ingredients are in here. That's very important so that the potpourri doesn't mold. In fact, this is supposed to last 10 years or longer as far as the construction of it. Now, as far as the fragrance, that does eventually run out. We'll talk about that more momentarily too. It looks kind of small, but it actually lives very, very large. Let me show you how big this actually presents. This is a bowl that I just picked up at the dollar store. You're going to actually, if you're going to do it right in one bowl, you need a bigger bowl than this. This one doesn't quite cut it because I got all this went into this, plus this is left over. So there is a lot. So if I didn't overfill this one, you could definitely fill 2 of these bowls, almost to the brim. And, use this in 2 different rooms. This works best, guys, in any kind of small rooms here. It basically creates a scent for the entire room. And it's best in bathrooms, small little linen areas, or anywhere you just want to freshen up. It works best in a shallow bowl. It needs to be able to breathe. That's the key here. So you don't want to pack it down too tightly. This is packed tightly just for shipping reasons. But once you open it up, you set it up so it can breathe. The fragrance eventually goes away. Well, how long is that going to take? It's hard for me to say right now, but I'm estimating about 3 months. That's what good quality potpourri does. It lasts about 3 months. So that's what this is. And that's what we're expecting this to do and how to live. In about 3 months, let's say, the fragrance runs out, doesn't smell anymore. Well, that sucks. Now you got to buy another potpourri, right? No, you don't. Actually, with this is the sunflower spritzer bottle that is a separate product, but they're a team. They go together. This is a tandem here. And this is the same exact scent palette. The difference is that this is the strong stuff to last 3 months, and this is just more diluted. Now, the reason that's diluted is because it serves other purposes. This can be used as a room spray. You can freshen up your whole house by spraying a couple pumps of this stuff and make it last for days. You can, if you have cats, a couple sprays in the litter box. When that starts smelling bad, your house smells good again. If somebody stinks up the bathroom, you can use this for anything to make it smell better. And this is also skin friendly. People can wear this as, it's not as strong as a perfume, but it's more of the line of like a body spray, a body mister. You can actually wear it on yourself. But basically, the way that you refresh this, you can rejuvenate it instead of getting it a new one or throwing it out. You can basically recycle this by all you do, take a big plastic bag, like a grocery bag, plastic, dump the whole thing in there, spray a good wet layer on the top of it with your mister, with your spritzer here. Good wet layer. Close that bag up, shake it up, put it back in your bowl, and you're good to go. You're good to go for at least another week or more. The sunflower is God's flower. It basically represents all the main characteristics of the year. What you got there are your 52 petals. That represents weeks in the year. Inside, you got your seeds. You got 365 in a perfect flower. And it also follows the Fibonacci sequence of the Fibonacci spiral, the way that the seeds kind of go around in a spiral. And also the leaves coming up the stems, there's supposed to be 12 in a perfect plant. That represents, you guessed it, the 12 months. So the sunflower kind of represents our cycle, and that is why it's called God's flower. You're going to love it, guys. Check it out. Okay, guys, so you can see why there is yellow sunflower energy all around. Even my t-shirt's got a sunflower on it. Wonderful, wonderful stuff there. Check that out, guys. Let's get into your story 4, huh? All right, so we begin story 4 with a small success. It is a small little victory, but victory should not be discounted or discredited. More than likely, this has to do with work, guys. I have double wands coming in here. There is an element, though. Despite this good energy of the small victories, which add up to bigger victories, maybe just try to win something small here, especially in work. Don't go for the top echelon here. Work your way up. Maybe September is a month of kind of going with smaller goals, something like that. There's an element here of physical injury. Maybe you get hurt. Maybe, especially if you work with your body at work. Do heavy lifting or something like that. Be very cautious. There is some stuff that Scorpios can actually get hurt here in story 4. If you're here at all, you may not be, but this can also mean injury prone, which has come up for other signs this month as well. So there is just some stuff going around where the energy is going to be a little flip-floppy here in the month of September, and Scorpios are affected by that here in story 4. That may affect work, it may not. they're letting me know this is mostly male energy here with the Yang card, my Oracle Angel card, so that's good because that's letting me know that this is my Scorpio males. More than likely this is affecting my Scorpio females, not so much unless you do a lot of heavy lifting at your job, and then of course I would be careful if that was you. They do talk about the Emperor inverted here, so a lot of you really need to take more authority with this, or be more careful about what you do. Maybe you lift very maybe you're not cautious with things. Maybe you just lift and go and you don't think about using your legs to lift, keep your back straight. And, just giving you a silly example here, but this could even be greater than that where there is just a lack of authority in general. Maybe you need to get out of this job altogether. Maybe you need to kind of replan what you're doing here. Get a better job for you, or at least a job that's not so hard on your body, because I feel like a lot of my Scorpios here in story 4, the body is, getting its use and it's getting beaten up here, more likely than not. So that's story number 4, guys. Very good. So let's get into the rune stone right now. I like to do that while I'm still looking at these cards, preferably. Give them a little swirl around. And here we go. Scorpio runestone for the month of September 2022. It's going to be this guy right here. Very familiar with this one. This is the runestone of Journey. Journey, the big kind of letter R looking guy. Over here, a few other ones on the bare board. So this is the Journey runestone. So a lot of my Scorpios are doing something brand new. Could go back to story number 1 and that big decision. It could be that fertility in story 2, big journey starting off there. The journey in story 3 is about, not worrying about the expectation of the finish line and just dealing with your day-to-day. Sometimes that is the journey. You got to worry about what is right in front of your face sometimes instead of, the end result. And then story number 4, the journey is, getting to a place where you're improving and you're getting these small victories that add up to big victories. And like I said, getting the injury part or the injury proneness out of the picture altogether. Maybe you can just do a lot more with yourself there. So you can see different journeys for different Scorpios there and all the different stories. It is time to get into your yes or no. I do need to reshuffle the cards very briefly because I did use a lot of them here. And I like to be thorough in your spread here. So I'm going to cut away while I do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, Scorpio, I am back. The cards have been reshuffled. Gonna ritual cut them one more time. I actually reshuffled both decks just to make sure we're 100% thorough here. We're getting into your yes or no. If you are participating, I hope you thought of your yes or no question, because here we go. Now, keep in mind, if Spirit does not answer your question here, it's hard for them to do. They have to answer it in context, first of all, because there's so many Scorpios tuning in here. We got that bubble energy. But the good part is, even if they don't answer your question here, the yes or no is available as an audio product that's personal just to you, so they will answer it there. But let's get started here. Maybe they'll answer it here for you guys. I'm going to do 3 cards on each side. This is the yes side and the no side over here. All right. Need some extra cards. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. Got a lot blocked there. This side, pretty good. Good. Yep. Just need to discard this side. They want them all upright. Had a feeling that was coming. Oracle Angel card there. Oracle Angel card here. We're ready to go. Okay, guys. Yes side first. Where is my palm stone? There it goes. Okay, small fights come up on the yes side if you've asked about some kind of small disagreements, so maybe small disagreements getting resolved coming up on the yes side. Finding the context of that one is big because you could ask that the other way too. They talk about you have all the tools coming up on the yes side, so they're saying like maybe you might ask, do you have the skills to do this, or do you have what it takes to get this job, or something like that, and they would be answering yes you do. Also acquiring those tools. They talk about message in a bottle, so not only do you have the tools, but you're guided. The other side is trying to come through and help you here. That's what a message in a bottle is from Spirit World. They talk about on the side also about how important it is to look at the good side of things. They're reminding you all the things you do have, so don't get stuck on the things you don't or the struggles you've been through. The yes side is talking about getting and overcoming that, and also on the yes side comes in about balancing your life. 2 major areas of your life are coming in with that question or with that query about needing balance. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups here. This is more the energy, though. I did ask what that was about. They said the energy. So this is nurturing the love corner here. I don't know if anybody's asked about their pursuit of love here, but the answer is pretty yes with Wheel of Fortune card, which is good luck. So that's like hitting the lottery there, guys, especially if you asked a question about love. Now, of course, we don't know the timing of it. Maybe it'll take some time for it to come to fruition, but we have a good nurturing of the love corner energy with good luck. So that's good stuff for love, regardless of how you asked it. I don't have, well, I do got a little bit of love on the no side. Let's hit the no side. The no side talks about small little failures of some form. Maybe some of you asked about something like that. They'd say, don't let that bother you. Don't let that hold you down, maybe something like that, or something that didn't work out. The answer could be no here. They do talk about if anybody asked about college or continuing education, the answer is actually probably no for them. That may be just a few of you. Go the distance, though. So there's something that they want you to keep doing. Maybe it's not actually advanced education. Maybe it's certain classes, but not the whole school, or something in between. Okay, because they do talk about that this is a marathon and not a sprint. So maybe also don't try to do things too fast. Maybe if there's an accelerated program, that wouldn't be right for you, something like that. They do talk about getting excited about something here, getting away from boredom here, coming in as the no side, if anybody asked about questions about that. They also talk about on the no side is talking about busyness. So if you've asked a question, is the busyness at work going to ever slow down? The answer could be no here. If you asked about, about a vacation, the other card there is a blocked vacation. So that could also be coming on the no side. Is now the time to take a vacation? Or maybe this year, if you ask a question like that, could also be coming in on the no side. Maybe it's just too busy right now. So you can see the different ways this mixes and matches. Now, they did bring in a big purchase for no. So if any of you have asked about buying something big, like maybe a house or a car, especially short-term stuff, they're probably coming in and saying no. Maybe not no, not ever, but maybe no, not right now. So you can kind of see how this stuff works. Of course, in a general, this is very complicated, very hard to do. I'm happy that Spirit is able to do it for so many of you, but at the end of the day, I know that there's no way they can get everybody. We just got too many Scorpios here. But like I said, that product is available for you if you'd like to check that out yourself. If you have a yes or no direct question, something on your mind that you'd like a little relief on, or a little bit more information about, so you can make the best decision for you, that is available on the website, scottsagent.com. So we have been through the entire reading, guys, the runestone of the journey, the 4 different storyline spreads. We've been through a lot, guys. So we've hit our wall. We have concluded. That is the end for today. Going to get with you guys in about a week with the love readings, the specific love readings, all about love, singles and couples there. But check out this wonderful sunflower potpourri. Also, the Scott Sagent Sage Soap. Just had to reorder that because that is flying off the shelves. So that's it, guys. Check all that stuff out. Wonderful products all around. Have a great September, would you? I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.